Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being with me for another Lessons from the Farm episode. I am currently walking in the shade of the woods down the hayfield toward our meadow. Not sure I'm going to make it all the way to the meadow, frankly. It's a long walk. But I wanted to share with you today another sort of learning story about being a farm owner, right? So our first one, we talked about the baby goat birth, right? Our first baby goat on the farm and how we missed it. Well, obviously we learned that lesson pretty quickly, and we absolutely never had that happen again where we were not present, or at least within range to be present. But sometimes, life throws you, got deer bounding through. Sometimes life throws you a bit of a curveball. I try to manage my work travel schedule so that I am not traveling during kidding season. At one point in my journey, I was traveling just about every other week out of the country, but still was able to manage the ability to stay home for kidding season. Unfortunately, one year I was not able to do that, and I needed to be in Asia in several different countries. So it was a 10-day trip to be in, where were we? We were in China, China, South Korea, and 2 cities in India. So I was in a completely different time zone, round about 12 hours forward from home. And it was kidding season. Thankfully, only one doe was due during the week that I was away. And our hope was that she would hold out till I got home. She didn't. Spoiler alert. But the husband was here. Farm hubby was here. He was doing his thing. He knows. He's got it. He doesn't need me. It's always nice when we're both around, but we can do it alone. We know how to do that. And so I'm in Korea, South Korea, of course, and I'm presenting. I'm leading the meeting. Let's be clear on that. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning, our time in South Korea, and I'm watching the barn camera on my phone. Very cool that I could do that no matter where I am in the world. So important. So I'm watching the barn camera while I'm leading this meeting. I've got it up and it's just kind of in the corner of my eye, right? Nothing major. Everybody sort of knows. I advise them, right? I'm not going to keep glancing at my phone and not explain why I'm doing that. And lo and behold, as I'm glancing at my phone, I can see that this goat is going into labor. Now, she's a first freshener. It's going to be her first time having a baby. That's what first freshener means. And so I don't see Farm Hubby down at the barn just yet, but I don't expect that. We don't pressure our goats when they're in labor. Anybody that's given birth knows that there is pain involved in that. It's uncomfortable. If you're a first freshener, it's scary. The last thing you need is a bunch of humans hanging all over you, staring at you. That's why, one of the reasons why we have the barn cameras. We can watch very closely. So I don't even bother to check in with Farm Hubby, right? It's 8 p.m. at night. I know he's sitting on the couch. I know exactly what's going on. His computer is up with the barn camera up next to him. And I'm sure he's got it under control. I continue to present. And I look down and I actually happen to catch the exact moment when this doe began to push. And she had a very quick birth. She was able to push that baby out with just a couple of pushes, very fast, less than a minute. But as a first freshener, her reaction was ah, an alien fell out of me. And all I saw was her bolting out of the stall into the pasture at top speed. Now, okay, not a problem. Emma, my beautiful midwife goat, is helping to clean the baby. The baby, I can tell on camera, the baby is fine. The baby is breathing. It's being dried off. It's thankfully didn't happen to be one of those deep freeze days. So I'm not too concerned yet, but I also don't see Farm Hubby. So I have to stop my meeting, explain that I need to step out and call my husband. It's now, I'm going to call it about 10:30 p.m., 11 p.m. in his time zone. It's, not quite lunchtime in mine. So I call him. He had dozed off. He missed it. Had to wake him up. Needless to say, he headed down to the barn, took care of baby, rounded up new mom, who was just absolutely freaked out by what happened. And that is not unusual. It's quite normal, frankly. And he got them together, made sure the baby was nursing. And here's what happens. As soon as a baby starts nursing on mom, hormones kick in. And then instincts kick in. And it literally is that quick. A couple of nurses from a teat, and she realizes, oh, this is mine. I need to take care of it. And we don't have to worry about it from then on in. So we got all that done. And I was able to finish my meeting, finish my trip. The best part about this trip, let me tell you, we were in 5 time zones across 10 days, not including the, transition forward and back, right? So when you fly out, you lose a day. When you fly back, you gain a day. So I land after an 18-hour flight home, and then, an hour plus drive home from the airport, get back to home, say hello to everybody, drop my suitcase, check in with the barn cameras, and there's a goat in labor. And like labor as in babies are coming right this very second. No rest for the weary. Straight down to the barn, delivered twins, got them set. Okay, fine. At least it wasn't, midnight, right? Now I'm exhausted. I've been on the road. Everything is just woof. But I try not to sleep during the day when I get home to avoid jet lag, right? I want to be able to readjust myself quickly, so I don't want to sleep until it's evening in the Eastern time zone where I'm back. So I force myself to stay up for the day. I go to bed early, of course, because I'm exhausted. Except that as I sat down to start to contemplate falling asleep, going to bed, guess what? Another doe went into labor. And there I was. Okay, no sleep again. Back to the barn. Deliver. I think 3 o'clock in the morning. We finally were finished up. We got everything taken care of. All babies and mamas were fine. It was just a comedy of errors. So, that's what happens when you work a real job. Well, I shouldn't call it a real job. When you work a job that requires you to be on the road from time to time during kidding season. And lessons from the farm are have a barn camera up and make sure that one of you is able to stay awake to monitor the whole time and wake up the other one. So that's a story that lives in infamy. There's actually another story of a birth while I was in Singapore several years later, but I'll save that for another day since this one's gotten a little long. I hope you are having as beautiful a day as it is right now over our hayfield. We've got some wildflowers blooming. Again, I have no idea what they are. I hope in the last video somebody comments and tells me what they are, but unfortunately I'm filming this before that happened. So tell me what they are. And, enjoy. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.